Let's talk about boundaries, what they are and what they are not. A boundary is a limit that is put in place in order to denote ownership or responsibility of something. If you think about a property line with a fence running across it, we understand that that fence is denoting what belongs within that property line versus what is outside of the property line, what belongs to you versus what belongs to somebody else. And with that property line comes a responsibility for what happens on that property, to cultivate it, to care for it, and to protect it. That is oftentimes why a fence has been placed, so that there's a clear communication of whose is what, and there's a safeguarding of what's within. The same is true for boundaries in your life. They need to be clearly communicated, and they need to be put in place to protect and safeguard what is within your responsibility. Boundaries are not about controlling your neighbor or someone else and what happens on their property, what they are doing in their life, the choices that they are making, the thoughts that they are having, the direction that they are going. Boundaries are about taking ownership of what is happening on your property and making sure it is well cared for. Your well-being, your actions, your thoughts, the direction of your life is your responsibility. You have to safeguard those things. You have to protect and care for them. And so that is essentially where a boundary comes in place. A boundary may look like this. It may sound like, I am not going to allow myself to engage in destructive behaviors that do not cultivate the life that I want. My well-being, my health is too important, and so I'm not going to allow myself to do this destructive thing. I'm not going to allow myself to indulge in worst-case thinking, perhaps, that doesn't produce anything good. It doesn't produce soundness of mind. It doesn't produce hope. It discourages you. I'm not going to allow myself to indulge those thoughts. I'm not going to allow myself to hang out with people who are destructive to me, or who are demeaning, or who are, you fill in the blank. You can put it around your thoughts, your decisions. You can put a boundary around your relationships, but that boundary is focused on what you are doing. It is not focused on someone else. A boundary is not about punishing someone, and a boundary is not controlling another person's behavior. It is completely focused on protecting and preserving what's valuable within. I hope this was helpful to you today as you think about the boundaries that you need to have in your life. If you're not sure what a good boundary looks like, or what are the ones that are going to help safeguard you in your own life, then I encourage you to talk with someone today who can help you think through those things and begin to draw clear lines and parameters for what your boundaries will be.